Okay, so boom. Well, all that. We're back for some Dokkan Battle. And this video is not going to just be about, this is not a predictions video. This is not a video where we're going to sit around stressing and going, oh my god, it could be this, it could be that, it could be this, it could be that. Because we do have information from Dokkan officially. This is the hint they dropped. We're not going to spend a bunch of time dissecting it. I'm just going to say and follow me along because this video has a sort of plot thread here. I am going to just say and accept that the most popular theory right now is that this is some sort of Golden Frieza, ROF, Tournament of Power, you know, Universal Survival Saga, Reps of Universe 7, Frieza. Do we have that? Because if we have that, then we can go into what is happening and why this has a strong, like, case. And it's probably in the thumbnail. I'm not really going to hide it or anything. Like I said, it's not a prediction video. There's not a big reveal video. We're just going to be talking about why this works, why it's happening, and let's just first, boom, one shot. Do I want this? I would say that this is on the lower end for me. Tournament of Power is not a class of card that does not have ample representation, right? Tournament of Power gets buffed every single year. Tournament of Power is almost always strong. The only reason that this year has maybe felt a little spacier is that the literal 2 anniversary slots, they gave them 2 anniversary slots that they gave to Tournament of Power ended up being kind of underwhelming. The Frieza and Goku were fine, much better than people gave them credit for, or at least if not much better, much more necessary. They just kind of fit into teams, and we didn't have that many tag characters at the time. And then the Goku, Kalkin Goku from the, I guess from the Universe 6 versus the Universe 7 arc, he sucked, which is fine. So it might not have felt like it this year because we have gotten some pretty lower tier power Tournament of Power characters, Tournament of Power quote unquote characters. But we have certainly gotten a lot. Undeniably, we have gotten a lot. Especially because these are premium max hype slots. 2 anniversary slots and another for Golden Week. Regardless of how strong they are, that is what happened. So, why do I not mind it showing back up? Because ultimately, we're going to get some form of this conversation started at some point. What I'm projecting, what a lot of people are projecting, is we're going to get this Golden Frieza Easy Aid, and we're going to get the ROF Blues Easy Aid. If we Easy Aid the Golden Frieza, and then we Easy Aid, and by the way, every Golden Frieza, it seems like, is a tank. Which means, if this is a turn 1 start of turn or transforming Golden Frieza, he is probably going to be a dominant slot 1, which is exciting. This Golden Frieza is going to be insane when he Easy A's. He might be, like, I'm so serious. He's one of those characters that if he Easy A'd, he could be the best character in the game. He could be the literal best character, right? Just because of how strong defense is, just because of if you up his stats without changing his kit at all, his defense is enough. Because he's got 90% damage reduction. So the RF Blues never got a chance to be good, so that's pretty fun. Going down, they could also do the worldwide download celebration Easy A's. Tanabata is a major celebration. While I do think maybe it's a little fast to be shipping out 4 major Easy A's, at this point 6 major Easy A's for Tanabata, I will say that I wouldn't be, you know, averse to it. You know, we're getting to the end of the year, which means that in another 5-ish months, we're going to have the entirety of 2023 unlocked as Easy A targets, which means that everything you see here doesn't need to really hold up. The other big one that they need to get to, and I've actually opened these, so here's the Golden Frieza. We don't need to look at his kit, you know what he does. He would be amazing. He's going to be amazing. There's a 90% damage reduction character who loses 10% each turn. By the time he gets down to 30% damage reduction, this character has wrapped the fight up. Right? In the modern Dokkan Battle. In the modern Dokkan Battle context, right? Another one we'll be seeing probably is this character. I would say that these two Easy-Yang alongside the RF Blues, it's much more likely than these two. I will say that. I don't think we're getting the quote-unquote Wicked Bloodlines celebration yet. I do think we're holding off. That is my prediction. I said this was going to be a prediction video, but I just want to say the reason I'm not talking too much about these two is because I do not think we're getting them yet. I'm going to close our tabs, right? Oh, a little spoiler there. So yes, this Frieza is bound for an EZA, the oldest EZA we still have remaining for a premium unit. Pretty good animations. I think this is going to be a great one. Has a lot of potential to be very strong, massively raised here, could just do a billion damage, also def stacking here, which means this character could easily do festival battles. I mean, if you want him to, I guess, you know, if you want him to. All that being said, though, yes, I think that is the crux of the celebration. I think that whoa, so I guess let's just get into the next point, right? Let me switch over. So here we have Vector. Let's start with Vector saying, why would anyone ever say that these two things are the same thing? To which Halvard replies, Vector is actually so upset at the idea of Blue Goku existing that he's being an actual blank. Oh, I can't even say it. Such offensive language. I'm kidding, by the way. Level of disingenuous to attempt to own just anyone he can. It's so funny. Unk screaming at Ghost. To which Vector, I'm gonna let Vector defend himself here. Here we go. I'm not being disingenuous. I don't even mind if we get it. Like, I think it would be insanely lame, but like I've been saying, a breather would be welcome right now. It's just if we do, I get it. I think it is goofy to pretend it is like two totally different things when it really is not. A unit that is two characters is in fact different than a unit that is one character. You're just wrong. And let's see. I just want to see being over 100 is probably so I get the point. I think we both agree. Dokkan names are bullshit. No, yeah, I agree. It's very dumb. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this because I do think it's kind of important to sort of temper expectations and also understand that Dragon Ball Super, and to a much lesser degree, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, I think, to me, outside of maybe Dragon Ball's third arc, which is the Buu Saga, and maybe you could argue, you could say the same thing for Daima. Maybe you could say this is also a thing for Daima, the Super thing. Dragon Ball Super is about characters' hair changing color so you could sell toys. I agree 112% with Truth when he says that. I don't think Dragon Ball Super was made with some kind of like intense artistic integrity. This was not Toriyama locked in a room as a younger man, you know, drawing what he think would be cool, you know, making a martial arts anime that combine these like fantastical elements, you know what I mean? We're so far away from that. Dragon Ball Super is about characters' hair changing colors so they can sell toys. So when I look at people saying that Blue Goku standing next to Blue Goku are not the same, or rather they are the same, which is what Vector's saying. Vector's saying they are the same thing. All right, I would say I don't even think that's true of regular Super Saiyan. So here I have pulled up Blue Goku, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku. And you can see here that the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku has not gotten a lot of LR representation. One tag character rather, and two Joint Forces characters, as well as a Joint Forces character here, and the Kalkin Goku from earlier this year, and then the Heroes unit, I guess, from before. Outside of that, it's not that much. I want to posit something, and you don't have to agree with me, but I think that saying that these two characters are the same is the same thing, is the same statement as saying this character and this character are the same. And to me, I would find that like kind of offensive. Because if you were there for Namek Goku, you understand that he doesn't really have, that he has more emotional and narrative interesting things to be said about him than, you know, Cooler Goku, who's just kind of like a guy. You know, he's just a Super Saiyan, he's doing cool things, he's fighting Cooler. That said, Super Saiyan Goku from the Cooler movie is hype and aura. This character rules. He's like huge. They made him big and bulky. You know what I mean? This Goku is also pretty big. Can I find quickly the Super Saiyan Goku unit? I wonder if he'd even be here. Oh, here it is. They made him big and bulky versus this Goku, who is relatively svelte by comparison, right? Relatively lithe by comparison. So you look at this. So would you then say that this Goku is the same thing as this Goku? I wouldn't. I'd say they conjure different vibes. To me, I think the Kamehameha with both hands out, like he's doing, sort of like almost like a proto Final Flash. I mean, it's awesome. You know, he's awesome. By the way, I'm only speaking positively of every single character that I've put on screen so far. So, you know, if you're like, oh, you know, my moment gaps this card, or like, I hate this one. Just to go back to this, though, that is all I'm saying when I look at this. And then when we go back to a character like we just type Goku in, and we start having conversations about maybe he can revive into a UI. Remember, Legends likes to copy, or Legends and Dokkan like to copy each other. The only issue with this one is that this is the moment where he's fighting Kefla, right? I believe so. Yeah, because this is the moment where he's fighting Kefla, I believe. And I don't think we're getting a Kefla. I think we're getting a Golden Frieza. So I do just want to say that I am completely okay with them stealing the revive into this for a Tanabata unit. And by the way, guess what? I'm sticking to my point because I think that's very different than this character who was also Tanabata last year. A year ago, right? So it's like, I do get the point. I get that there's like a fatigue element to it, right? I'm not saying that anyone shouldn't feel fatigued. I'm not saying that anyone shouldn't feel, you know, bored by the prospect of getting another blue hair or something. I'm just saying that when I saw Super Saiyan Blue in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, I saw a new form. It was like me seeing that. So follow me along. I felt like I was seeing Dragon Ball Super use blue for the first time because I had never liked it in regular canon Dragon Ball Super. Me personally. So when this character, or I guess like, you know, so when this character happened, I was like, this is okay. It's fine. You know, it's fine. But it makes a world of difference for me when I then see this character go blue. You know, I think standalone this Goku is a completely different character than, and we'll go to Realm of Gods, any of the blues you could put on here. Personally, that's just me. Same with Vegeta. Standalone blue Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan God Vegeta from the Broly movie are just completely different to me. You could drop them one after another. I wouldn't complain. Because for me, this is Super Saiyan Blue. But for a lot of people, you know, maybe Tournament of Power is Super Saiyan Blue. Maybe the Future Saga here is Super Saiyan Blue. You know, that's fine. But it does just like, it ushers in a different feeling, the way it's animated, the way it's portrayed, the actual choreography the characters use. You know, Goku as a fighter at the beginning of Namek Saga and Goku when he's fighting Cell, you know, they just look different, right? So if you drop a Super Saiyan Goku from Namek and then next month you drop a Super Saiyan Goku versus Cell from the beginning of this, or from the, yeah, I guess the start of the Cell games technically, those are just different characters to me personally. So yeah, while I'm not gonna like, you know, bash Vector over the head with a mallet for this, I will just say that I saw this and personally disagreed. I saw this and thought it was a little silly. It does sort of just reek of how conversations happen on the internet right now, which is not to incite the disingenuous word, the vile D word, but just to say that to make a point, we sort of strip away everything until we're just looking at the barest of like bad faith bones now on the internet. And it's like, so like, yeah, at a base level, why would anyone ever say that these two things are the same? Why would anyone ever say that? Well, every reason I just said. Personally. But in theory, in the most unflattering way possible, yeah, I guess why would anyone ever say these two things aren't the same, right? Of course they're the same. They're Goku with blue hair. So I get it. Ultimately, I do get it. I'm not blind to the plight that's being pushed here. It's just that I think it's a little silly. There's especially to me, it's, if you love every single episode of Dragon Ball period, you probably don't feel this way. But to me, someone who grew up with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super came out, I was kind of like, yeah, you know, it's all right. For me. I watched Dragon Ball Super Broly, gave me an entire new respect for Dragon Ball Super. I enjoyed Daima for what it was. GT's all right. seeing this blue is completely different from seeing blue in the movies or in Dragon Ball Fighters or in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, right? You can tell that's the truth because you really don't see this, like, you really don't see this version of Super Saiyan God Goku given a lot of screen time anymore. Even in the case of Sparking Zero, a lot of the animation fidelity, you can feel Blue being taken from the Super movie because it's the best that form has looked, period. It is, right? And to me, that just makes it feel a little different, not completely different, a little different. But hope you enjoyed that little rant, a little tangent. Like if you liked the video, subscribe to the club, we all go make it, and peace.